What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 15 of the Shop Build. Just got back from vacation. There's a seaplane right there flying over, so you can hear that. Lots of awesome stuff has been happening over this last weekend, and let me show you, starting with the outside. Dogs are back playing. As you saw last time, we finished up the landscaping. That's all done. Dogs are making it their home, aka digging holes. But last week, gutters have been installed. Gutters went down here. They've done a gutter on this side, and then obviously this back side as well, which, to be honest, I haven't actually taken a look at, so we're going to see it for the first time together. Yeah, so that gutter has been tied in to the main house gutter and runs down into this piping. This one as well. I need to confirm that they've done leaf guards on those, because obviously with the piping being underground, these get filled with leaves. We're gonna have an issue with cleaning them out. But also, as you can tell, the electricians have been here. So these here are the sconces we went with, kind of like a bronze, antique bronze kind of color. Nice little square shape. I think it just accents the door here nicely, provides a little bit of light. Right now they're just using 60-watt bulbs. We can go up to 100 watts. We'll probably do that, just throw a little more light out here. But that's been done. But the big things that happened today, happening inside. So first and foremost, paint has been done. It is echoing here with nothing in here. But anyway, paint has been done. Again, we went with a cool white, bright white on everything. Looks really, really pretty. Very happy with how that turned out. They still need to paint these two doors, so that needs to be done, obviously door hardware. Hello, Kitty. But it really cleaned up the space, brought everything together, and really just polished it up. Also, as you can see, trim has been done. So VG fir trim, again, mitered, they need to sand and finish that. Well, I guess they're not gonna finish it. They're just doing brad nail, which is fine. Trimmed out the door. We just went with a 4-inch baseboard trim all around the outside to kind of seal up and bring that down, so there wasn't a gap or a line there with our pressure treated lumber. Just clean things up. We decided to go without a jam extension because it's not really worth the labor, to be honest, to do that little jam extension there. But everything's looking really clean in here. Very happy with it. And also today, the electricians were here. So my man Mike and his crew from VD Electric were here today and did all the electricals. All the electrical, with the exception of the rotary converter, is done. Installed. I spent yesterday, these are switchable LEDs. I went in ahead and switched them all to 5000K. So we got 10 of those here on the ceiling. It's nice and bright in here. It's gonna be really, really nice for limited shadows and throwing a lot of light onto our work pieces. Also, all of the outlets are done. So here's our grounding access that's been covered. Just a convenience 120 there. But as you can see, here are our 240 and 120 outlet plugs all along the wall. We got the big boy ones for new machines. This one is specific for the dust collector. We'll roll that in here in a little while. And also installed our super rad switch plates. So again, I went with these switch plates from Concord Aerospace. These are based again on the Apollo command module switches, particularly this one on Apollo 12. What we've done is do 3-way switches. So these exposed ones here without the covers on it is a 3-way switch for the lights. This covered one here, right now it should be off. It is off. That supplies power to those outlets, which you should be able to see, yeah, right there. Those would be for our air filters right below. There's one over here. So if I need to ever switch those off, there's any issue, I can switch those off since they are inaccessible on the ceiling. And then this other outlet here is for our sconces. So right now, sconces are on. Let's go over here, you can see, maybe. And now, off. So those are really cool, really stoked on that. I'm a big space nerd, so it was really fun to kind of pick those out and get those here in the shop. The other thing you see, there's just a few exposed holes here and up there. Those are for the heat reclamation pump, which I think we talked about in episode 12 or 13. That's getting installed this week up here. This is the power supply, and then a convenience outlet needed for that machine. And then down here will be for the thermostat. And then also this switch allows us to turn that off because it operates directly off the thermostat. But if I'm doing sanding or something's gonna pull up a lot of dust, I can flip that off and it won't pull up dust as much into our air intakes, and I won't have to change the filter as frequently. So this week, we're gonna be getting that done. And then the last thing they installed was our smoke fire alarm, one up there, and there's one in the actual residence, so that everything, if there's ever, knock on wood, a fire issue out here, we'll be able to hear the alarm go off in the house. And we may switch these to heat detectors, depending on if we have any nuisance alarms with sawdust, but I think with the volume of space, the dust collection, and the air filters, we shouldn't really have any issue. So that's where we're at today. Again, this week, HVAC's gonna come, they're gonna mount this up, they're gonna do the heat pump on the outside, do the whip for the power, and all the plumbing that needs to happen with that for drainage lines. And then my SCM combination joiner planer has been scheduled for pickup at SCM in California. So that will be arriving. And then when that arrives, Mike and his team are gonna come back, hook up, let's go, which way, reverse, that way, whatever. These are gonna get hooked up so that we have 3-phase power. Everything else in the shop is on, with the exception of the HVAC supply and the 3-phase converter. We have full power here in the shop. So what we're gonna do is I just move a bunch of junk out of the old shop, since there's limited stuff that actually has to be done in here that's gonna throw up any dust or that they need a lot of space for. And yeah, really exciting. Oh, one other thing happened this last week. So this paper on the posted here for our inspector to see when he comes this week to do electrical and to do the next stage of inspection is a pressure test of the building. These buildings are so well sealed, it's part of energy code that you're not just wasting power and energy continuing to heat a leaky building, particularly, well, that's with new construction and permitting, that they actually came out this weekend, attached a big blower to the door, sealed all the doors and windows, pressurized the space, and then measured the pressure drop over time to make sure it was within code. And we passed, everything looks good, so that's good for the inspection as well. So that's where we're at now. Electrical's done, little detail cleanups need to be done. They have to clean up some paint overspray and that kind of stuff on the door, and just do the lock sets. This one has a lock, a deadbolt on it, and that has that 2x4 support, but they're actually gonna put in lock sets. That door has to be painted. So a few little odds and ends need to be cleaned up, but we're really, really close to being able to move in to the new home for Sailor Street Woodworks. So thanks so much for following along, for me and Baker and Kitty's outside playing. Thanks so much for following along. Thanks for all support as always, and I'll catch you in the next video of the shop build.